Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? What up, what up? It's your girl, Miss DJ Hoodie, getting at you guys with another Why Run podcast live at 10:36 p.m. here on the West Side. And up on panel, we got the one and only. Well, is it the one and only? Didn't you say that there was another Just Rap?
Yeah, there's a couple.
No, my God. Why everybody trying to be you, babe?
I don't know.
Mm.
Boo.
We got
Boo
Just
those
Rob
guys.
up on panel. Yeah.
Boo.
Yeah, okay, if they are saying boo, they know they take it right back.
If
Mm-hmm.
you mean when they say boo, they take it right back.
Yes, if and when they say boo, oh yeah, they're taking it back because this is what I think people do, right? They talk bad about you and blah blah blah, and that's like 1 minute, right? And let's say they go on about their day, and then let's just say that they just happen to see a black box.
Or
Or
like they look down and they see a black box.
yeah, or they just see a black box flying through the air in the sky. And then they're like, okay, well, I went to him with this problem one time, and, he was a real bro, and he helped me see clearly. Yeah, he aight.
You think a narcissist is gonna accept that they got help before? I doubt that.
Well, they're only going to admit it to themselves. They're not going to,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it's not always boo, I think.
Okay, well, it's boo, but it's a regrettable boo.
That they should have snatched you up before I did.
No.
Yeah. I know one person that's like, why does she always get the good ones? What movie was that from? Put it in the chat.
Oh no, movie quotes. All the movies that I know are super old. So.
Well, it is it's not super old, but it's like in the 90s. And they did a re-up of it like 3 years ago. And I'll give you guys a hint. Leslie Jones was in that movie in the second one. And I'm not, I love Leslie Jones, but I think her character was a bit much, and I don't support. So yeah, who said that? How come she always gets the good ones? Who said that? What movie?
No idea, but I like her book though.
What?
Her
book. Yeah. Yes.
It has to be the audiobook though, because if I was to be reading that, I would be like, no. Too much.
Yeah, I think. It. I think it was more like a podcast.
Yeah.
Than because she's very, very expressive, and I'm pretty sure whoever did the edit, like written it, I'm pretty sure they had to cut a lot of things out. Maybe.
Yeah.
But they have that that feature. It's speak to text.
Yeah.
Talk to text or something. So I'm pretty sure they like recorded that, and then it was like jotting everything down.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was still a good listen though. It was funny.
I'm not even done with it, and I bought it like months ago. I'm not even done with it. Yeah, because I get a lot of recommendations of other books on TikTok, Instagram, whatever, even on Twitter. Like I'm just like, oh, dude, I want to check that out. And weren't you the one that introduced that book to me, or was it me, the one that I couldn't stand?
Oh, You.
Oh my god, yeah. Okay.
Where'd you get it from?
Like that. How did I know of it?
Yeah.
Fucking TikTok. Because I kept seeing like advertisements of people being like, "Oh my god, this is like the best book ever," and it opened my eyes, and shit like that. And they're just like, "Oh yeah, it's spiritual," and it helped me like organize my life. And me, I'm spiritual but living more modern, so I'm just like, "Oh, maybe this is that perfect book for me." I want my fucking credit back still. Until they clean up their lives. Then maybe I'll hear them clearly. Fat chance. But yeah, like sometimes like I'll get recommendations for some books and I'm like I want to check it out. So I have a lot of books in my favorites, and then like I'm accumulating credits. That's why like I'm down to like just give them to you. Because you can actually do that on Audible. You can gift someone a book or credits. So, yeah, that's why it's like I'm stingy with my credits when it comes to the books that I saved. That's why I'm like, hey babe, do you want a book?
Would you still be able to send it if I canceled my subscription?
I don't know. I think you'd be able to still get it. I think you just gotta have the app available.
Yeah, I still haven't.
Because you could cancel your subscription, but I think you can still keep the books because you've already purchased them.
Yeah, I think the ones I bought are still there.
Yeah. So you canceled it, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't I late? You're like, I canceled last month. And I'm like, hey, don't forget to cancel.
Baby, I've canceled like 5 different subscriptions since I told you to remind me of that one.
I think I was right one time.
Yeah. There's actually a book that I want to either read it or listen to it. It's called Finding the Words. It talks about grief and loss and hope and purpose. I've heard good things about it. But
yeah, I think I just don't have I just have a lot of spiritual interferences.
Yeah.
But yeah, go on. Sorry, babe.
No, that was it. Just, well, I lost my list of books already. Except for that one, because I took a screenshot of it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you, babe?
I'm getting better. My headache's almost gone.
Yeah. You want to discuss that one? Like what was going on?
It wasn't a typical headache. And I don't know if I said this before here, but I know I've told you that I really don't get headaches. And today, just out of nowhere, I started getting this super heavy, painful feeling, but it started in my neck. I was like, what the hell is going on? But then it crept up to my head. I don't know, it was weird because I started getting nauseous too. And I thought, okay, is this like a migraine? And then I finished up what I was doing. I came to the room and I was massaging my head. Not that one. and then yeah, it started going away. The pain started going away, and this was, what was it, like either 7 or 7:30 when this was going on. And then you and I were talking on the phone, and I was talking through all of that with you, and I kind of figured it was something spiritual. And I still don't know like how that works, but that was the first time that I've ever felt a pain that like that one. And when I was talking to you, I was like, oh shit, it was a spiritual thing. And then, what time did I tell you that I got that message? Do you remember?
The text message or?
Yeah.
Of the incident?
Yes.
I want
It
to
was
say about 2 hours ago.
like 9:15 or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's been updates since then, and
Mm.
the update. Remember, I asked what time did that happen, and I was told it was at 7:30. So I think that that's what I was feeling.
Yeah. Because you said it happened right after you ate.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was a spiritual thing, and see, this is what I mean when I say like I don't focus too much, or maybe I need to stop trying to justify things or find other reasons for signs like that, because I feel like if I would have been like, okay, this is spiritual, what's trying to come through, or what is it, I would have known. I would have known while it was happening or before I was told what it actually was.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that I could have stopped anything, but I would have known.
Mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. I guess I need to work on that. But I keep saying that and then I don't do it.
Well, every situation's different. Like certain things in spirituality take certain things. Everything's not it's not just one remedy. It's not just one certain type of prayer, or sometimes it may take another person, sometimes it may just um um it takes certain things, or sometimes it takes days, or like you kind of gotta pay attention to that first before you can either because it's almost like you're jumping in front of the horse.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're messing up or anything. It's just sometimes it's just like, okay, like what are my guides telling me, or like, okay, when I'm seeing something like this is what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
I I have a little bit of pain, but I'm not sure if it's like soreness,
Mm-hmm.
because it was pretty intense.
Now
I
you
don't
know
know
how
if
my headaches get, baby.
that's how bad they get.
Yes. I can't even lift my head from laying down. I can't even turn my head to, turn my body around. Sometimes it hurts to open my eyes, like move my eyeballs around. Um,
Yeah.
and then on top of that, it's like you're trying really hard not to be tense, and then like all of a sudden, like my jaw will lock or my neck will pull. It gets really bad. That's why it's like when I was going to the hospital for my brain and all of that. It was like, dude, I think like at the hospital, what they're telling me is actually caused by spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, okay, bitch, you gotta get your shit under control in the spiritual world because it's affecting me in modern.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So
I'm just I'm telling you, and I'm telling the cast for educational purposes, because if you are a spiritual being, then you would feel these things, and you yourself may be like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Like this certain thing hurts, or it'll start taking a toll on you physically. And if you do have a strong mind, the more physical things that you feel, it's gonna start attacking your mind. Like it's gonna make you crazy.
yeah, at least
That's
feel like
to
you're
the
going
point.
crazy.
Huh?
Or at least make you feel like you're going crazy.
You said what makes you feel like you're going crazy?
No, I said, or it's gonna make you feel like you're going crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Can I tell you real quick though? When
what?
I went outside to do what I do, I thought I saw bugs and shit. I was
Bug,
kind of tripping. Yeah, I was kind of
bug.
tripping. I was like, what the hell is that? But
See,
no, it
okay,
was
sorry. Go ahead. I was gonna say
no.
something. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Okay, did we watch the movie called The Craft?
Yes,
Did we watch it together?
yes.
Okay. Remember when Sarah, the main chick, when she told her witch friends that like she would have like these crazy nightmares, like I would see like bugs and snakes and shit like that,
Yeah,
and then she was like, I would close my eyes and open them and they would still be there, they wouldn't go away. And that's pretty much like it's a sign, because remember I was telling you that in my culture that when you dream about a snake, it means that someone's really really mad at you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, but you're awake. So like
Mm,
if you was out like in your garden, right? And of course like bugs and insects and animals, of
mm,
course they're going to be in a garden. You know what I'm saying? But it's one thing that when you see it like on this, like on the side of your vision, like but you just
mhm.
see something move, and then when you look and there's like nothing there,
Yeah,
it's almost like you're dreaming but you're awake, and you need to pay attention to that.
yeah.
That's telling you something. So whether it be like okay, what does your culture say about insects? Like what kind of insect was it? How big was it? Was it
Mhm.
a prehistoric bug, or was it a butterfly, or was it ants? Was it a stink bug? Was it a fucking cockroach? Was it, and then you want to go into like what it looks like, because in my dreams when I dreamt about snakes, they always look like a beautiful necklace. And then like right before I go to pick it up, it'll move, and it's like slithering around, and it's like holy shit, that's a fucking snake. And it's like it looked like um like a piece of turquoise jewelry. And turquoise is a very, it's very meaningful to native people. So it's like okay, so for me it's like, all right, am I seeing this piece of snake or a piece of jewelry? Was that meant for my parents, because we're all in that Native American art space? So it's like, okay, was that for me or was that for my parents? And then it's like, okay, well, who works with turquoise stones? So it's almost like you're trying to pinpoint who may be causing you to have these sights, to make you have these dreams. And so it's like you have to, like how detailed you are, because this is the thing that trips me out when you tell me about your dreams. I'm sorry if I'm just going like way into
No,
it.
no, no. Go for it.
But when you tell me about your dreams, remember how I told you that when you dream, you're reacting the real actions as you would when you're awake,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
The thing that blows me about your dreams is that when you're like, oh yeah, like I seen this person, and we went outside and we seen like flying cars, and I was looking around like what the fuck? Because in my dreams at least, I don't look at something and say what the fuck, because in my dream it's always like it's normal. Like in my dream it's normal to see a flying car. So but the thing that I try to make different between us is that in my, like when I go outside and if I look in the sky, I do see things flying around in the sky. So for me it's normal. But it's crazy to me when you tell it, because you're just like, what the fuck? The fuck is going on? Because in your dreams, it's almost like you don't have time to stop and think and wonder and be puzzled and try to figure out what's going on. Because it's almost like oh yeah, I walked into my house and I seen my granddad, and I was like, what the fuck? I thought he was dead. And I'm like, you actually have those thoughts like in your dream? Because for me, it's like, oh, grandpa, hi. Like it's kind of like that. And the only thing that makes me stop and realize what's not right, or what is like, like, oh, this can't be, she's gone, she passed away, is my dog. Because every time I dream about my dog, it's almost like I forget to feed her. And then when I go to feed her in my dream, it's almost like, Ukyo, like, Dala passed away and she came back, and Ukyo, I'm just neglecting her, like I'm not even taking care of her. Here she died and she came back to be with me. See, that's the only time that I can actually stop and be like, oh, she died, but she came back. Every other fucking time, there could be a dinosaur stomping around outside my front door, and I'd be like, oh shit, shut up. High five, bro. Like it would be like a normal thing in my dream. Comments?
That's crazy though.
It is crazy the way that you dream, because you're just like, wait a minute. What's going on? Yeah, like that's why I'm like, you really stop in your dream and you try to figure it out. But I want to say one last thing. I heard somewhere, and I could see it being, like people are finally realizing this, because I felt this shit when I was a kid. All right, but when I was little, we were talking about, I think we had to write an essay about dreams, or our dreams, or what we thought about dreams, or where dreams come from, blah blah blah. And I remember writing, like, when everyone was sharing their stories, I remember writing, like, no one ever writes about what time or what day. Because remember, I was telling you that when you tell me that you have a dream, I'm always like, what time was it? Was it in the night time or was it in the day? What direction were you walking, or like what direction did it go, like north, south, east, west? So that's the same mindset that I had when I was a kid. And of course it was like, oh, that's not important, so okay, I let it go. In high school, I don't know, there was like this, it was like literature, I think it was, where somebody had, like some college professor wrote an article, and it said something like, it was kind of like paranormal too, where he was trying to figure out that when he did studies on people that had dreams, he was like, I guess he was like hypnotizing them or something. And then he said that when his, I guess people, when they had dreams of whether people they knew or that they didn't know, when they were trying to lead them somewhere, and the person said, hey, when I hypnotize you, and if you go back to seeing these people, ask them what time it is and what the year is, or what the date is. And so when they were, under hypnosis, right, I guess the people in their dreams like turned into demons. So it was like, you're not supposed to ask what time, what year, what the date is, what day it is, like, because it's almost like they could be like, oh, hey, yeah, we're going to the state fair, blah, blah, blah. And then in your dream, as they're pulling you to the state fair, then you're just kind of like, hey, what time is it? And it's almost like their smile just goes away, and then they're just piercing, gazing at you. And then that's when they'll start to hurt you. And I was like, no fucking way. Because, it's almost like, okay, well, are we that conscious enough in our dreams to be like, hey, what day or what
I was
time
gonna
is it?
ask you that.
And for me, it's like, okay, well, um, it's, I don't know how to feel about that, but I can't help what I felt when I was little and to how I feel now, because to me it's like, all right, well, um I almost feel like if you were to ask those questions in your sleep, in your dreams,
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't think it's important, because um okay, you get the time and the day, right? Um, I think it would have to do with people that you already know or people that you haven't met yet. So if you don't recognize a person that's pulling you, it's like, okay, maybe that's someone that you've never met, but you're going to meet yet. So that should tell you that it's the future, because it's almost like um I would rather figure it out that way than to have something in my dream give me a fucking heart attack. Because I think he did like two studies on somebody, and then they both had a fucking heart attack. One had a panic attack. So I don't know, like those, and I feel me. I know a lot about the spiritual stuff. I don't think that's something that we should fuck around with and ask.
No. I
Like
was gonna
that
ask
you
you.
just don't go there. Well, you shouldn't anyway.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're gonna want to, because you already do that. You already
Yeah.
do that when someone's like, oh hey, let's go that, and you're just like, wait, what the fuck, what's going on? And it's just like, babe, just go. What happened?
So
Where did you go?
I was gonna ask you, do you feel like you have control, or you're in control in your dreams at all? You personally.
I think for me, I do believe that dreams tell you stuff, and so I just go with it, because it's like, why fight? Because it's almost like, if you have control of your dreams, you're not gonna find anything. You're gonna, it's almost like you're afraid to know and see what's happening. So for me, it's just kind of like, all right, well, I do most of the time not afraid of anything. I have been attacked in my dreams before, and it's like, okay, what a big relief when I wake up. Yeah, I'm like crying and I'm, like scared or whatever, but it's like, okay, now I know. Because if you control it too much, then it's like, how are you going to go far with all these other things that are happening in modern, when in your dream it was trying to tell you, but you were trying to control it's almost like, don't show me stuff.
Yeah. So I don't feel like I have control per se of my dream or in my dream, but I do know, like for example, remember I told you I had this dream where I was walking from somewhere to my house, and then it started raining and I saw a tsunami. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
In the dream I was like, that's not possible because we're not that close to the ocean. So in my dream I knew that it was impossible for it to happen where it was happening. So then I'm assuming at some point in my dream I was like, okay, that has to be like a warning.
Mm.
And I'm only assuming that because I don't remember every single dream I've had. Matter of fact, for the last 2 weeks, which is funny that now that I remember, I don't think I've had any dreams in the last 2 weeks. And if I have, I don't remember them. I wake up and it's like, what? I didn't dream anything. Which is interesting that I say 2 weeks because remember what I told you? It's been like in these past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But there are dreams, or most of my dreams are super detailed. But I still feel like even though I can't control what's going on, I can control myself as far as knowing what's real and what isn't, which is fucking weird. Like, I guess I should
Mm-hmm.
look more into that because remember I told you too, I had this dream where I was at a hospital waiting area with someone that felt familiar, but I didn't recognize her.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know who she was. So when I woke up and I knew or I remembered it, I was like, okay, so that was a message, and then I recorded it or wrote it down. I don't remember, but at some point in my so what you're saying you don't want me to do is in the dream be like, who are you? I know that I don't know who you are. Is that what you're saying? For me not to try and control the dream too much?
Yeah, because it's like, okay, you don't know who that person is, let it, because that may be someone that's not even living. Like, let's just say, like an angel, or that's someone that's gonna come into your life in the future. Sometimes, um, it may be someone that you feel but they're unrecognizable
Yeah.
because I mean, you already know when I told you that when somebody passes away, they take their soul takes back the form of when they were their most happiest or who they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
So you may not even recognize that person, but it's somebody that Um, the only time that I think you should ask questions is if they're like in front of you in real life.
Mm.
Then you could be like, oh, hey, like I seen you around or whatever. And then they're going to think you're crazy. But it's, as long as like, oh, okay, well, I recognize this person. And sometimes it's not just that person. Sometimes it's just where you met that person. Like it's taking you, it's almost like it's backtracking for you. You can't look at this all in one way. You have to look at this in all aspects.
Yeah.
Like, you have to pay attention to everything. That's why, I do ask you, like, was it nighttime or was it daytime? Was it morning or was it afternoon? And you're just like, I don't know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, because it's placing you at a time. So it's almost like, okay, like, or have you been there before? And you're like, no. And then it's like, okay, well, maybe you're going to be there at some time. And you're just like, well, I don't go anywhere, so maybe not. And then it's like,
I don't
okay.
talk like that, first of all. And second,
when you don't listen to me, that's how I'm hearing you.
that's your voice for me when I don't listen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's something that it may not be familiar to you, but it may be familiar to your spirit.
Yeah.
It may be familiar to your soul. Or maybe it's just your soul connecting with somebody else as far as, like, another soul.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's your, like, you have questions, but you're asking the wrong questions, and you're not following the direction as far as, like, where, and you're asking too much why instead of just going. And that's kind of where you're limiting yourself, actually, from receiving what you're supposed to. That's why I say you do got to spend a lot of time with yourself. You do have to spend all of the days praying and meditating, and even if it's just like just weird, like it's like, welcome baby, welcome to my world. It was like those videos that I showed you, and then that video you showed me, it's very much like that, and you're just like, what do all these colors mean? Like, why is it going so fast? And it's just like, well, okay, like like that Pocahontas song, colors of the wind. Like it's that, and it's like, okay, just fucking see it. And then it's like, well, why am I going so fast? And it's like, well, when we meditate and when our soul or spirit we're able to leave our bodies to go travel, like doesn't yours go that fast? Because mine goes hella fast. Or
Yeah.
sometimes it's just I'm just there. Like sometimes I don't even like travel. Like I'm just like already there. I can
Mm.
already feel the mud and the water and like how cold it is, and it's almost like I could feel everything in every nerve in my body.
Mhm.
So it's
So
it's
I have a few questions whenever you're done.
I'm done.
No, you were gonna say something else.
I forget. Go ahead.
Oh my goodness.
Loving you.
Well, okay. First of all, I feel like and I know it's gonna sound stupid because even though I used to see things or get messages as when I was a kid, I never, I guess, accepted that I had abilities or anything, right? That I was a spiritual person. I thought it was just crazy. So I told you, when I started talking to you and you were explaining all these things to me, like, oh, everything means something. You have to remember everything. And I was like, what the hell? If I try and remember everything, because to me, back then, I used to have dreams all the time, and they were always detailed. And I would wake up and I would remember every single detail. Hold on real quick. I feel like I was gonna choke. But um, when I started doing that, when I started, oh, there's been 2 times I think where I've had a dream of the end of the world. I know how it's gonna go, and I didn't know that that's what I was dreaming at the time. I didn't know that that's what I was experiencing at the time. I just woke up and I was like, holy shit, that was crazy. But I kind of let it go. The only reason why I still remember it is because I remember the sounds and the taste and the smells and the colors and all that stuff. I remember too many details, and I was like, damn, okay. So I think I wrote those down. There's been a few dreams that I remember everything of, so I write them down. And then, but this was way a long time ago, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Like when I had the dream about the planes crashing, it didn't feel like it was an important thing to remember until 9/11 because of the details. It wasn't just like, oh, planes are crashing or planes are falling. It was like they were going into buildings and I'm seeing people jumping from buildings and all these things that happened in real life. I was like, holy shit. And as I was watching it, it felt like deja vu to me. I had to ask myself, am I dreaming or is this actually happening? Because in my dreams, that's how it feels. Like it feels like real life. So when you and I started talking about all these things, and I was like, okay, so that's what I'm supposed to be doing, or that's what all these different things mean. Most of those things kind of calm down. I usually, if I do have a dream and I don't remember it in the morning, or I don't remember all of it, then I focus on just what I do remember. I write that down, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna think too much of it. If it happens, it happens. It's recorded now, so I'll, I guess I'll know the message when it becomes important. As far as like details and colors and directions and all that stuff, it's all documented too. So those are things that I never looked at before that now I do. But so that's part of it. Well, I guess what I was gonna say was you say that when you dream in the way that you actually see things, you already know because you've been doing it for a long time. for me, all of this is kind of new, even though it's not, because I just accepted that that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, so when you get mad at me because you're like, what direction was that? I'm like, I don't know, because I was looking at something else. I was focused on something else.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I'm, like you said, when I'm in the dream and I see someone that looks familiar, but I'm like, I don't know who you are. I guess I'm conscious enough to know that they're not here anymore, so I don't. It's almost like I just discard that they're there, and I don't receive the message then. But again, when I'm dreaming, when I'm in my damn sleep and I'm dreaming, I don't know that I'm dreaming. I can't. I guess when I said that you don't want me to control my dreams is like, so you don't want me to acknowledge that the person is gone. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, because it's like they came to see you and this is how you're remembering them as dead.
Yeah.
That's disrespect. You know, you want to treat them like they're still here.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of silly. Like, what? Like, you're dead. And they're just like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, oh, so this is how you remember me. You remember me as dead. You don't remember the good things about me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of like disrespect. One thing I wanted to tell you too was you have to, well, you don't have to, but for us natives, it is important for us to know and take into consideration that because you said that like, oh, I've seen the end of the world, I know how it's gonna be, you know, I remember this and this. What a native person would tell you is they would be like, okay, was it this world or was it the last 3 other worlds that ended?
Yeah.
Because in native culture there was 3 worlds that we all lived in before. This is the last world. So, you know, and I'm not going to tell you what it is, but the 3 past worlds, they each ended very differently. So it's almost like however you see it ending this time, it's either, yeah, you're right, it is going to end this way, or if you saw it, you know, ending another way, it was like, okay, you were in the previous worlds.
Mm-hmm.
So
So if
it's
I was,
almost like you may have already seen the other last worlds ending and you
so if I,
haven't.
I'm sorry, go.
No, what?
So if I was to tell you the color, would you be able to tell me if it was this one or the previous ones?
Yes.
Orange.
You said orange?
Yeah.
You are correct. Only because, you know, orange is in the same red color palette.
Yeah. So it's this one?
Yes. Because all the other worlds were totally not red and orange.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, remember I was telling you, like, as an artist, it's really hard to paint in purple and pink and, you know, the fun colors, right?
Yeah.
Because our color wheel, there's only like, we're only limited colors. And those are our main color palettes. And see, that's also what represents the previous disasters, and it represents the worlds, the different worlds. That's why that color palette is so important to us. So for you to narrow it down in color, that's a very, very good way of thinking, because spirituality, that's what makes sense to them.
Right.
So But I just want to, that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just focus on, oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. And it's kind of like, yeah, well, we had other worlds. It can't just be the only thing. See, that's where spirituality, it is a big flare up. It goes everywhere. It's not just this one particular thing.
Mhm.
That's why, when you say something, I'm just like, and then what? Oh, you mean this, or did you mean this? See, like,
Well,
in
there's so
it.
many details that I don't say because again, when I'm in the dream, it doesn't feel like it's important, but obviously I still remember it. So when I'm telling you the dream, even though it's detailed and I'm telling you most of the details that, or I guess what I feel is important, there's still a whole bunch of things that I'm not mentioning.
Mm-hmm.
So in that particular dream of the world ending, I know that there was that was the main color that I saw, and I thought it was because the world was on fire because that's what made sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying. Like even in my dream, even when I can't control it, I'm still trying to make sense of it. That's why when I see things that don't seem normal, I'm like, that's not normal. So it's almost like I'm telling myself, oh, you're in a dream, instead of, like you said, just let it happen and see or absorb what I'm seeing. Because I know that there's dreams that I can't do that in, and that's one of them.
When you
And
dream, you have to like be in the moment, because in modern, we are in the moment. We have no choice but to be in the moment,
yeah,
because yeah, we're spiritual beings, but we still live here. So we have to be in the moment, and dreaming in our sleep, that is pretty much the only spiritual moment we have, or that we're allowed to have, to be in a spiritual moment. So you have to remember.
mm-hmm,
Because how is it that we remember everything in modern? See, it's almost like a brainwash, right? Like, we remember how to drive. In our dreams, we probably forgot how to drive in a dream. And then we just run off a fucking cliff, and then we're jumping in our sleep, and it wakes us up, and we're just like, holy fuck, oh my god, see. And it's like, yeah, like modern, it does take us away from spirituality. We are supposed to be, all of us, we're all
yeah,
supposed to be spiritual beings. But how is it that we forget shit in our sleep when we are supposed to be the most awake in our sleep? That's why I remember everything in my dream.
yeah. Have you been?
The thing too I want to say is that I know that when I have conversations with people in my dream, I know that when I tell you, I'm like, I don't remember, or I don't recall what this person said or how they said or whatever, but it feels like, or it sounded like, they were like mad, or it sounded like they were like mad at me, or like they looked at me a certain way. So it's almost, you're going off of like feelings, because we could just be like, what do I tell you guys on the why run? Like, if I'm yelling, and if I'm like cursing and blah blah blah, like, and if that's all you're gonna take from it, you're not listening to the message. It's the same fucking thing. So it's like, if you're having a conversation with someone in your sleep, and you're just like, I don't fucking remember, blah 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 blah, but it's like, okay, well, at this point, spiritually, oh my gosh, see, this is going into a lot of other things, but it's like, I feel like it sounded like they were like trying to say this, but they were going around their words or whatever. And I know I told you, and I've said on the cast before, that um that when I was talking with that professor from Iran, he was saying that, like, in their prophecy, that there's gonna be like one way, like there's gonna be no there's gonna be no race. There's gonna be no, culture's gonna die out. Where everybody is just mashing together. Nobody knows what their culture is anymore. Nobody knows their language anymore. So if you take away culture, if you take away language, if you take away, everything, and it's like our prophecy says the same thing too, that we're all just gonna be one ethnicity. There's gonna be one ethnicity, one language, one way of living, one, I don't want to say like culture or whatever. It's all gonna be one. So what I was saying was that, okay, English is the number one language spoken, right? And then second to that would probably be Spanish, at least here in the United States. But it's like, I think we're just all gonna shut the fuck up. And what's the one last language out there that everyone's gonna know? We already know this language. It's not English. It's not Spanish. It's not Hopi. It's not German, French, none of that. But we all know a third language, at least. And that language is sign language. That's going to be the initial language. All of us are going to speak. Is sign language. Because, yeah, you could say, fuck you, fucking bitch, fucking asshole, you punk motherfucker. Like, there shouldn't be no language like that. How do you say that in sign language other than flipping somebody off? But another sign language that we know is that you can get beat the fuck up. It's body language. You flip a motherfucker off, man, you're gonna have 50 motherfucking beasts coming at you. See, body language, sign language. See, that's where. Yeah, see how all of that ties together? That's peace. That's peace on earth, and we'll never get there. We'll never fucking get there, because once you turn on TikTok, everybody's lipping off. You got Karens talking shit. You got motherfuckers that...
Wait. To stay on the same topic, on that topic of communication.
Okay.
You don't think that in the phase that we are right now, it's kind of the beginning phase of that sign language, body language?
What do you mean?
Meaning, like
like people physically kicking each other's asses and shit like that for no fucking reason? Are you talking that?
No, not necessarily. I'm talking about most of the way that people communicate now is not in person. It's not.
Oh, it's mouthing off.
It's
texting in comments.
Yeah. Texting.
Yeah.
So,
but there's gonna be no written word.
But my point is, wait, hold on, you're jumping ahead. You're in the future. Come back.
Hey, keep up with me.
Hey, we gotta dumb it down for other people.
Oh my god. Don't be dumb, guys. Good.
We gotta try and help some of the dummies. Listen. So what I'm saying is, like, we are starting to forget how to talk to each other, right? Other than communicating through online shit. So, okay, let's just say something devastating happens and we lose the ability to communicate online or through text or whatever, right? All we're gonna have is verbal contact with each other. But if we don't know how to do that, we're not going to be able to communicate other than, like I'm saying, sign language. So it's almost like the beginning. We're starting to forget how to talk to each other.
Yes.
Using our words.
Everything is being reversed.
Right.
As it probably should be.
You don't think that that's the beginning of going back to I say going back because I feel like that's how we started. That's honestly how we should have stayed, but evolution, I guess.
Colonizers.
Yeah, colonizers, calling. But yeah, I feel like we're starting to forget how to communicate with people. Other than, like I said, technology. But if we lose technology, then we lose the ability to communicate
Mm-hmm.
because people don't know how to do that anymore. We don't know how to talk to each other anymore, especially these iPad kids. They don't even know what emotions are or how to control them.
Yeah, no, they
So I
don't.
can only imagine
They
what's
just
gonna
hug
happen.
you because it's almost like that. They know that that's something that you should do, but there's no feeling in it.
I don't think kids know how to hug anymore. They don't know physical touch.
They just hug themselves walking around and they just fucking look like, yeah, like a whole ass depression. What is that? What was that a tweet that you said when you was like, man, like people can't just be sad, they have to name it depression?
Yeah,
I was like, that was that right there. That
that
right
was
there.
actually something I wrote somewhere.
Yeah, I was like, right? Why did it have to be like mental illness,
Yeah.
trauma? Like, and it's like, dude, you're probably just sad.
Mhm. That's what I'm saying. We're diagnosing people and we're diagnosing ourselves
Oh
with
my
things that,
god.
you know, we're labeling ourselves with things that,
Nah, we're
don't.
just weak motherfuckers. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, and don't. I'm just gonna say this. We're not gonna get into it, but yeah, we were talking about how that shit's tying into the military. Okay, moving on.
Mhm.
Damn, it's just crazy, man. You
I
can't
don't.
just be sad.
Yeah.
That's why when, not saying that you were calling me like that or saying that's what I was, but I think you asked me the other day um something along those lines. I can't remember what it was, but I was just like, no, I'm just down. Like I'm just sad. Like I don't want to think I'm depressed, but like when you start telling me about something that you researched or something, and I'm starting to question myself, like, and I'm not saying that you're implanting those things in me, but like I question myself, like, damn, am I
Careful.
depressed? Like, and
Careful.
all it was just maybe like I have an art block. You know what I'm saying?
Careful. People are gonna say that I'm gaslighting you.
Oh my god.
That's not okay.
Okay, you
I
guys
know.
you guys need to click the fuck off right now.
I know what you're talking about, and it wasn't even me. It was someone else.
What is
You
it?
po- you posted something, somebody commented, and then I said that sounds like seasonal depression.
That's what it was. Seasonal depression. And I was like, hold on.
Well, at the moment when the other person commented and they said they're entering spring or coming out of fall, and I was like, that's seasonal depression.
Mm.
And then when you were saying yeah, and I was like,
Me, I
wait,
was
so
like,
you're
I'm
saying?
sad all the time, but not depressed.
Right.
See, that's what I'm
So
saying. Like, okay, for me, I love all seasons because that's my culture and things like that. But I'm not gonna be sad that it's summer. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be sad or whatever. It's like motherfucker, I got bills. Like I want to do art, but I can't do art. So it's like, yeah, I'm like constantly stuck on being down and all of that shit. But I don't think that I'm depressed. It's just I want to do things that I can't do right now.
but
Completely different, in my
isn't that part?
opinion. I'm not.
And baby, I was not saying that you were depressed. Just
I'm
bring it
just trying
back.
to make it clear.
Yeah. I gotta defend myself here. You're like, you said I was depressed. No, I didn't. No, it
I
wasn't
didn't
me.
say that. You said that.
No,
Oh my gosh.
no. What I was gonna say was that's part of people living in the future instead of the present. For instance, back in the day, when I'm talking about like ancient time, there was a time where you had a season to do things, right? You had a season for planting, you had a season for harvesting, and you had a season for sowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you had to be in the moment. You couldn't be like, oh well, winter is 4 months away, and I want it to be winter, so I'm gonna wear my winter coat now, and it's summertime. Like, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do that. You can't live in the future. That's what we're doing now. It's like, oh
Fun
well,
fact.
yeah, what?
Who am I? Fun
Me?
fact, when you wear winter clothes in the summer, you're actually keeping your body cool. So when you wear hot clothes, when you drink hot drinks, hot tea, hot coffee in the summer, you're actually cooling down your body. Fun fact.
I am actually gonna do that this summer, and if I die, you guys come back and see audio about that shit.
Okay, disclaimer. Probably only for healthy people.
Hey, I'm healthy.
All those nachos that we be eating, all the jacks, babe.
Which I haven't had either one since you were here.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not saying it's your fault. Anyway, no, wait, before we
All the
completely go off
sham
the...
shakes, babe.
Ooh, I can't wait.
All the in and out. All the dunks.
Now I'm hungry. And I forgot what I was going to say.
Burritos. Yes.
No, wait, let's bring it back before we really go off the tracks here. So it all started with seeing bugs or seeing things that aren't there. Remember a few nights ago when I told you that I thought I saw a spider? What do you think that means then? Since it's been a couple days and a couple things have happened since then.
Well, the first thing that came to my mind was what you told me, that you said that you saw my brain was covered in spider webs. And I'm not gonna get into it too much on this episode, but yeah, it was spiritual, and that's what I thought about when you said that. But I also can't disclude the fact that I am from the spider clan. So maybe
so if
it's...
I describe you? If I describe the spider to you, because I didn't think about it then, but I know it now.
Okay, what?
So it was the size of a tarantula, like that big, but it looked like a black widow.
Oh. So you looked and it was gone?
Well, it wasn't there. That's what I'm saying.
Oh.
But in the moment, when I put my hand in the tray, I reacted and it sounded like there was a spider coming out of there. But it wasn't a spider coming out of there. That's what I'm saying. Kind of like today when I told you that I was outside and I saw, or I thought I saw, bugs. But then when I got closer to it, it wasn't bugs. It was a little like weed that was coming out through the cement. But okay, so am I supposed to keep that in mind? That was bugs?
Yeah, whether you see them or not.
Because you know what I thought it was? Like maggots.
Oh, what?
I thought I saw like maggots on a spot of blood on the floor.
You seen it for real, or?
No, that's what I thought I saw. Because okay, I was kind of far away from it, and I was like, "What the hell is that?" Because I saw something moving on the floor, and I thought, "Why the fuck does it look like it's a dark circle?" Which I thought was blood. And then what I saw or thought was moving on top of it, I thought it was maggots. But then when I got closer to it, it was a water spot, and it was a weed. It wasn't a bug or anything. It was a weed that was growing from the concrete. That's what I'm
I
saying.
think
Should I
those are
keep that in mind?
warnings, babe.
Warnings?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright.
It'll show itself. It'll tell on itself, and our guides will pull them to us and throw those motherfuckers in the fire. So that's what I'm saying. Like you have to say everything. If you're not gonna say it to me, you say it to your guides. You pray about it and you write about it and things like that. And remember, you put it in those monitors,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yeah,
things will start connecting.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a trip. That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nothing but maggots all around us anyway, so you're catching them in that way, I think, in my opinion.
So back
Dang,
to the
that's
food.
crazy.
I actually saw a video. Somebody was talking about. I don't want to ruin it for you, but you gotta be careful, babe. Somebody had, I think it was a McMuffin, and they zoomed into it and they saw what looked like maggots or bugs or something was in the fucking food. Have you seen that one?
Mm-mm.
I was gonna send it to you, but I was like, she's probably eating McDonald's. Let me not ruin it.
Maggots. It's raccoons will eat anything.
Hell no. I like salads.
Yeah, he's a weird raccoon.
I like salads. I'm
Yeah,
actually
he
growing.
does.
I'm growing. What?
Nothing.
I'm growing
Romaine?
lettuce.
Romaine?
I can't. Yes.
Nice.
I'll show it to you tomorrow.
Nice.
It's already coming. It's coming through.
Yeah, I'm about to grow an avocado tree.
Sheesh. Wait until you see the avocados that are coming off that tree.
Yummy. Yes, in the nighttime when you're sleeping. You're gonna see well, your neighbors are gonna see a raccoon with her harness on climbing the avocado tree. Yes.
I'm like, what the hell? Why is he wearing a pink harness?
Then all of a sudden you hear, "Hey yo, what up, what up?" It's your girl Artie, getting at you guys from the top of the avocado tree. I am wearing my lucky pink harness.
If you're pink, what was it? Your oh my goodness, Teenage Mutant.
Yes, my eye mask.
Your eye mask.
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta wear that too. You want to start the show now? No, I'm just kidding.
I know, we're like an hour and 8 minutes in. Jeez. I'm gonna have to rename this one. Yeah, next episode.
Do you follow or do you know any spiritual people online?
Online?
Yeah.
I try to, but they're not all the way there.
Have you noticed anything in the last 2 weeks from them? Or you just don't follow them anymore?
Not quite, because I've just been too busy and modern to think.
Do you think there's a possibility that so have they?
That what?
That those people, the spiritual people, have also been too modern lately?
Well, yeah, because times is tough and people are just getting worse and everybody's losing their shit, and a lot of people are just falling off. So I think it's just a mixture of what's in the air and what's going on around us and inside our safe space, and our safe spaces aren't even a safe space for us anymore.
Yeah,
So I think it's kind of like seeping into our our altars, so to speak.
yeah. We need to change that.
Yes, we do. And we're going to talk about it like we're supposed to.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? Well, maybe I'll tell you off the air, but because yo, you okay, like not just us, but like everybody that's listening or everybody that's going through it, spiritual, and you're just really trying to like do shit right and not feel not second guess yourself, but oh fuck, I lost it. See, that's their master plan.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. But I think I was trying to say is that we all really need to. Okay, I'm guessing what we should do, right, is we need to cleanse our area.
Mhm.
We have to smoke those motherfuckers out and catch them in the flame, and spot them out in the smoke. If you see an outline of a spirit or a person through the smoke, like if there's like a negative area, right? Or a subtracted space in the smoke, yeah, you want to fucking grab those fuckers right there. But we need to cleanse our area. We need to cleanse our spaces. That's like the first thing. And I would say we need to pray. Like we need to
I would
um
say turn those
actually
around.
what?
I would say because I feel like I'm just gonna say it because that's what it feels like to me. I feel like people are losing hope. I feel
Mhm.
like they thought something was gonna happen after the eclipse, and maybe they didn't feel it, maybe they didn't see it, so they feel like, oh, it was all for nothing. Because that's the energy that I'm feeling right now. That everybody feels like, what's the point? It's all for nothing. So it's almost like they're doubting their creator or their guides, their spiritual parts, their spiritual connections. So I would say stay plugged in, plug back in if you feel like you've lost it. And then cleanse your area, because if you're just going to cleanse your area, you're still going to end up in the same spot. You need to reconnect to your spiritual guides and to your creator. That's the main connection that you should never lose, even when you feel like everything is hopeless and there's no point to anything.
Mhm.
So I feel like you should pray first, reconnect, and then cleanse your area. Be more intentional with it too, because I was gonna tell you, babe. I know I didn't tell you, but the last two meditations have completely changed, and it wasn't even like up to me. It was just like I need to change it, and it has to be now, because it was getting to the point where it was just routine. It didn't feel connected to anything. It was just like, oh, this is what I do at this time, and I'm just gonna do it. So I was like, no, I can't just let it be a routine. And I feel like that's kind of where everybody's at. And I was asking about the people if you follow any accounts or anything, because there's been some that have just popped up into my realm, my space, that pretty much say the same things that I've been feeling and stuff. And lately, like, and I mean like the last week, they kind of just been quiet. And I feel like that's what they're going through. I feel like they're just disconnected right now.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know if I should reach out to any of them or just, simply just say stay connected. I don't feel like I need to go into like a whole um, discussion with them or anything. Just tell them like stay connected, don't lose hope,
Mhm.
or whatever. I feel like I should say something because I feel like that's what's going on right now. everybody's just kind of like, okay, so what's the point of all this? What's the point of being a spiritual person letting shitheads and, fucking dumb people get away with everything? We have to
True
stay
that.
plugged in. Yeah, it's true, but there has to be a reason for it. There has to be something. It can't just be like, okay, stupid people and they win. Because even some of them people, the fakers, the frauds, I've noticed have been too quiet,
The
and
frauds.
it's starting to be concerning. Because I'm like, okay, where are you? Do I have to go to the pits and depths of hell to find them again? But it's almost the same thing, letting people get away with shit. It's almost like, okay, well, out of sight, out of mind. It's like, no, I can't. It's the same thing like you said, if you ever work on someone and you help them, you have to continue praying for them.
Yeah, until they don't believe in you anymore or when they leave this earth. Yeah, I don't. Well, I guess I can't say that anymore as far as like, like, oh, I don't talk to anyone, but I talk to 4 lovely ladies, so. And yeah, I need to. Or we should tell them that, give them that message.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Do you want to do that other thing? The video?
The what?
The video you sent me?
No.
No? You don't?
No. I'm getting tired actually. And I think I still need to put some stuff away.
Okay.
Yeah. But I really enjoyed this episode though.
Yeah.
We definitely had to do this.
Yeah.
How do you feel, babe?
Better. My head doesn't hurt as much. And I have an update too, but I haven't read the complete thing, so I'll read it after. And I'll let you know.
Off the air?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Well, thank you,
remember,
babe. What?
Yeah, I was gonna say, remember, stay plugged in. Don't disconnect. Go back to, and I'm not talking to you, but I'm talking to everybody listening if they're here. Don't give up. Just don't give up. Keep going.
Can I add something? Which is kind of, to me, it resonates to what you just said. When I was eating breakfast for dinner, so I make these bomb, delicious, crispy, buttery, salty, fattening, and did I say crispy? Extra crispy hash browns, right? Kind of difficult to eat it with a fork. Kind of difficult to eat it with a spoon. I was eating those hash browns with my hands. I'm talking like full fish, right? Like a true raccoon. I went in, right? But what I was thinking when I was eating with my hands, I was like, we need to tap it back this far.
Yes.
When we only ate with our hands.
Yeah.
For real.
The way that the good Lord intended it to be. Why do you think all the best foods are finger foods? Pizza, hamburgers, chicken nuggets,
fries.
Exactly. With your hands.
And I'm not gonna lie, I ate my entire dinner with my hands. And of course, my hands were clean. I
Like
had napkins. And it was very, very enjoyable. It just was. Like, it just, kind of hit different.
burritos,
Huh?
burritos, tacos.
Shit, man. I was almost a whole ass gorilla. Shit, I had hash browns in one hand. I had avocado in my other hand. I had eggs on my foot.
Oh shit!
I had bacon in my other foot.
Damn.
Yeah.
And she is flexible. She is flexible enough to do that. I believe it.
Man, that was a good breakfast. Hell yeah. But yeah, like real talk, that's what I was thinking when I was eating. Because I was just like, man, like this is how not me and my people, but my people, this is how we ate. We ate with our hands. Like that was just our way long time ago. And it's like now look at what we're having, like we tore meat up in our mouth with our claws and our fangs, like shit. Now we're just too greedy, like we're too particular, we're too spoiled, we're too and it's just like, man, like I don't know, like it was just a thought, like it just I felt even more connected. So if you guys are like, oh my god, like that shit sound disgusting, well, that's just showing how disconnected you are. That's just to me that's just what it is. Like you really aren't enjoying. Because if all of these things were taken from us, how the fuck are you gonna eat?
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Everything you eat with your hand is good.
Mhm. Like how are you gonna eat an apple? You bite into it. Oh well, I have an apple slicer.
Oh my god.
Like man, like horses, they eat the whole apple just like that. Like I mean, I don't know. Like it was just a thought, but when I was eating that way, I felt more connected. I felt more at peace.
Yes.
And look at it this way, you don't have to wash silverware. You just wash your hands. Wash your hands, and put on a little lotion. I know there's gonna be people out there. Okay, well, how was your people not ashy? We're talking about food.
They use the animal fat. People forgot that shit, man.
What, the aloe vera?
No,
oh,
you're not
shit.
supposed to be using lotions. Just rub some animal fat on your face or something.
Yeah, I told you about that, about the shoes.
What?
Yeah, in my culture, to keep their shoes shiny and all of that, to protect the leather.
Yeah.
On their shoes.
The huaraches?
Animal fat. Huh?
That's what they use on the huaraches too.
See? Culture. Yeah, and I rub animal fat on babes' little black toes.
Oh. Did you say pink toes?
No, your little black toes. Your little raccoon feet.
I got something else you can rub animal fat on. And that's the show, folks. Good night.
Yes. Shit. Meet me in the avocado tree, babe.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you, babe, for joining me on this episode, and thanks for the topic. I enjoyed it.
Thank you for You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yes, babe. And yeah, if you guys are listening to the playback, thank you so much. And don't forget to add, rate, comment, subscribe, follow, and share. And yeah, we will talk to you guys in the next Why Run podcast live. Peace.
Be nice.
How you gonna say that?
Be nice.
Just be nice.
Yeah. Be kind.
In the bed.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
Let's go.